All right, here we want to sketch the graph of this linear inequality. It's y greater than negative 2x minus 4. Okay, so first thing we notice here is there's no equal sign, right? So we're not just drawing a line here. Okay, so we have to draw the boundary line that is defined by the actual equation right here. Okay, so it's called the boundary line. But then we also have to determine which side to shade. Okay, because of the inequality, right? We need to shade one side or the other. Okay, so the first thing we should do then is draw the line that is given by this equation here. We notice that this is in slope-intercept form, right? We notice that the slope is negative 2 and the y-intercept is negative 4 here, right? So we can certainly use this information to draw the line using the slope and the y-intercept here. Right, so let's draw a couple hash marks. Okay, now the y-intercept here, it says it's negative 4, right? So that's going to be this point right here. This point is the point y equals negative 4. Now the slope is negative 2, right? We can see that as negative 2 over 1, so that's the rise over the run. So we're going to go up 2 units and left 1. We're going to go up 2 units and left 1. Okay? Now we notice here that it's strictly greater than, right? So then the question is this going to be a dotted line or a solid line? Okay, remember, if it's a less than or equal to or a greater than or equal to, right? This would be a solid line. If it's strictly less than or strictly greater than, that would be a dotted line. Here, because it's just a strictly greater than, we don't see that line underneath, right? So that tells us then that the line that we draw here should be a dotted line. The reason why it's dotted is because every point on the line is not going to be a solution here. Right, so finally, we have to shade one side or the other, right? Remember, the shading represents all the points that are solutions, okay? Now, the best thing to do is to pick a point, right? Let's pick this point 0, 0, right? Here, the x is 0, y is 0. So what we want to do is plug it in and see what happens, okay? So if 0 greater than, or not greater than or equal to, right? Just strictly greater than negative 2 times 0 minus 4. Right? So obviously anything times 0 is just 0. Is 0 greater than negative 4? That is a true statement, right? 0 is greater than negative 4. So let's think about what that means. Okay, we plugged in the point 0, 0. Right? We plugged into the equation and we ended up with a true statement, right? It works. So that means that this point works, right? This point is a solution. But if you think about it carefully, right? Well, wait a minute. Every point on this side then should also be a solution. Okay, hopefully that reasoning makes sense, right? So what we want to do is we want to shade this side of the line. Okay, so every point on this side, right? Think about that. Every point here we can extract the xy value, right? It turns out every point that we pick on this side, if we plug in that xy value, we will end up with a true statement. Now, on the other hand, if we pick a point on this side and plug in that xy value into the inequality, it's not going to work. Okay, so the answer is well, first of all, you got to get the line correct. You got to get, is it solid or dotted, right? But then the shading also, right? You got to make sure you shade the correct side.